Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Everything Weapons. Today we're going to be reading how Turkey's fighter drone teamed with M-346 fighter trainer in autonomy trials. The demonstrations put Turkey among a small group flight testing advanced crewed and uncrewed teaming as air forces race to field collaborative combat aircraft. All credit to thewarzone.com, where we're going to be reading this breaking news. So Turkey's Baykar and Leonardo of Italy say they have successfully completed the first live trials of their K-Swarm concept, demonstrating collaborative operations between crewed and uncrewed unmanned aircraft as part of an effort to develop next-generation autonomous air combat capabilities. The trials involving Baykar's Kai-Zylama uncrewed combat air vehicle, or UCAV, and Leonardo's M-346 light fighter trainer aircraft are the latest to explore what is fast becoming a key element in the evolution of air combat. Leonardo and Baykar announced the development today. The trials took place last month at Baykar's Flight Test Center in Turkey and involved a Leonardo-owned M-346 fighter attack variant and a Turkish UCAV. An Italian Air Force T-346A, the trainer version of the M-346, was on hand as chase aircraft. During the flight test campaign, so the Kızılelma used so-called smart fleet autonomy algorithms developed by Baykar's hardware in the loop laboratory for the trials. Once handed over the M346, the pilots in the jet made use of a newly developed and fully integrated avionics suit to command different formations. Via a crewed and uncrewed computing system, the Kızılelma performed different maneuvers and formations, including position changes, separations, and rejoins. These were executed autonomously by the drone, with the M346 pilots only responsible for providing the initial commands. What was described as an advanced radio frequency data exchange system was used to share all data between the platforms. So the Kızılelma and M346 trials in Turkey were the first live phase of Leonardo and Baykar's K-Swarm program, which focuses on developing interoperability between unmanned and manned aircraft. The companies refer to this as crewed/uncrewed teaming, or CUCT. But it's also referred to by other names, including manned-unmanned teaming, which is MUMT, MUMT, or collaborative combat teaming. Whatever the term, the ambition is similar: to have future fighter pilots go into battle accompanied by drones under their control, ready to fire weapons, gather intelligence, jam communications, or serve as decoys. Baykar and Leonardo helped accelerate the start of these crewed-uncrewed teaming trials by first running simulated missions, including using an M346 full mission simulator in Italy, and the Leonardo Product Capability and Concept Laboratory. So this meant that algorithms, as well as tactics and procedures, could be tested in the virtual realm first. So the Kızılelma's rapid rise to prominence as a fighter-like UCAV has been notable, and there have been some impressive milestones along the way. In general, the Kızılelma is one of only a few fighter-type air combat drone projects to have resulted in hardware. The development of the Kızılelma began as long ago as 2013, although the project was also only revealed to the public in July of 2021 when conceptual studies were presented. So Kızılelma was flown first very briefly in December of 2022 And that milestone came only weeks after Kesselema's emergence for ground testing, and the UCAV is claimed to be supersonic, at least in later versions, have a degree of reduced observable characteristics, and be tailored for the kinds of air combat missions typically undertaken by crewed fighter jets. In particular, it is eyed as being a drone companion to Turkey's next-generation TF Khan crewed fighter. In its definitive form, the drone is powered by a single Ukrainian-made AI-322F turbofan, delivering close to 10,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner. Late last year of 2025, Turkey announced that the Kesselema used a Turkish-made air-to-air missile to destroy a target drone, marking the first occasion UCAV have launched a radar-guided air-to-air missile. Days later, Boeing followed up the feat when its MQ-28A Ghost bat drone launched an AIM-120 advanced medium-range air-to-air missile in southern Australia. A next set of K-Swarm tests is planned for the coming months, with more complexity and additional functions. The companies say these will require greater levels of situational awareness and assets working together as one toward mission objectives. Further details, including how enhanced situational awareness will be achieved, were not disclosed, but it should be noted that the Kesselema has already been tested with a toy gun electro-optimal sensor and targeting system, as well as an active electronically scanned array radar. Ultimately, however, the K-Swarm program aims to harness AI technology to enable unmanned systems to incrementally shift from remote piloting to autonomy, suggesting that in future trials, the Kesselema will autonomously conduct more complex missions and maneuvers on the command of the M-346 pilots. At all times, those human pilots will maintain full control and decision-making, the companies say. A UCAV operating under the control of a crewed tactical jet represents a major milestone for Turkey as a country, placing it among a very small group of countries and nations pursuing this advanced capability. Publicly, such crewed-uncrewed teamings have largely been confined to experimental efforts in the United States and China. We meanwhile know a lot about what the US has been doing in the white world in this regard, and it is now only accelerating its CCA efforts, while it is clear that China has also prioritized it. Russia has also reportedly flight tests its S-70 UCAV with a crewed Su-57 fighter, but there is no confirmation about the degree of collaboration achieved. Last year, in 2025, meanwhile, the U.S. Air Force demonstrated a MQ-20 Avenger drone being controlled by a pilot in a F-22 Raptor during a mock mission. Given the current surge in interest in collaborative combat aircrafts, or CCAs, the joint trials by Baykar and Leonardo also appear especially well-timed. To take just one European country, Germany currently has a stated requirement for an operational CCA to be fielded before the end of this decade, before 2030. While the Kesselema might not necessarily be in the running for that, the AI technology that it is now demonstrating could be of considerable interest to a variety of export customers. Meanwhile, the Kesselema, like other Turkish defense products, comes with the advantage of being free from the restrictions imposed by the U.S. International Traffic in Arms Regulations, or ITAR guidelines. ITAR serves to limit the transfer of defense and military technologies and services, especially the more sensitive ones, to certain different countries. Already, Turkey has leveraged its drone developments to secure major arms sales to a variety of countries for which these kinds of capabilities would otherwise be out of reach in both technical and political terms. The opportunity for Turkey to offer for export the Kızılelma in concert with the high-end TF Khan or the lower-end Hürjet light combat aircraft would put it in a unique position, at least in Europe. The same platforms could also be supplied with integrated weapons options, providing another significant advantage. As for the Leonardo, the M-346 has recorded some notable sales with the combat-optimized fighter attack version, also gaining increasing traction. Though its stake in Eurofighter, the Italian firm may well be looking forward to offering these drone commander capabilities to the multi-role fighter. As we have talked about recently, the collapse of the pan-European future combat air system effort means the CCA capabilities are even more in the spotlight, including efforts to team UCAVs with advanced fourth-generation platforms like the Eurofighter Typhoon. For Baykar and Leonardo, demonstrating that the Kızılelma can be commanded from an M-346 jet is an important achievement, but scaling that capability to different aircraft, larger formations, and increasingly autonomous mission execution will ultimately determine whether K-Swarm becomes an operational capability rather than simply a technology demonstrator. It should also be remembered that while the autonomy engine and AI agent are critical parts of an effective fighter CCA teaming concept, it is unclear how developed these technologies are in the K-Swarm experiments. After all, just controlling the UCAV is one thing, but having the drone to do much of the thinking while the pilot gives approvals and basic directions is the key. The companies have also proposed developing these technologies further to achieve swarming, which presents an even greater challenge in this context. However, with demand for affordable force multipliers continuing to grow and air forces looking for ways to increase combat mass without buying ever more expensive crewed fighters, a UCAV that can combine with a manned combat aircraft further demonstrates the rapid pace of advances in Turkey's drone capabilities. Once again, all credit to thewarzone.com. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you found this entertaining or learned something, please drop a like, smash the like button. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated. It really does help me out in the algorithm. It pushes my videos to other eyes to enjoy. And type us a comment of what you think about this achievement by Turkey. And what else? Subscribe, ring the bell, that way you don't miss any videos we post in the future. And of course, check out my older content on the channel. I will see you guys in the next video.